Okay, so let's look at the last page of the review sheet. So the function we have for question number 38 is f of x, which is equal to negative x squared plus 4x plus 5. So if we want to first find the x-intercept, right? So we know for part A, x-intercept, we know y equals 0. So we also know f of x is y. So replace f of x by 0. So 0 equals negative x squared plus 4x plus 5. We could bring everything to one side or divide by negative 1. Let me bring this to the other side. So it becomes positive x squared minus 4x minus 5 equals 0. So we need to find two numbers that multiply to negative 5 and add to negative 4. The two numbers are x minus 5 times x plus 1 equals 0. Let's double check. Negative 5 times positive 1 is negative 5. Negative 5 plus 1 is negative 4. Now we got to set each one to 0. X minus 5 equals 0 or x plus 1 equals 0. You get x equals 5 as well as x equals negative 1. So the two x-intercepts are 5 comma 0 as well as negative 1 comma 0. Part B, we want to find the y-intercept. For the y-intercept, we know x value is 0. So f of 0 equals negative 0 squared plus 4 times 0 plus 5. We just get 5, so 0 comma 5 is the y-intercept. C is the equation of axis of symmetry. So equation of axis of symmetry is x equals negative b over 2a. That's x equals negative. Now remember here for the original equation, a is negative 1, b is 4, and c is 5. So it's negative 4 over 2 times negative 1. So that's 4 over 2. That's 2 is the x value. So x equals 2 is the equation of the axis of symmetry. And then determine the coordinate of the vertex. So let me see. So we got the x value. So for D, for the vertex, we need to substitute x value into 2 into the function. So f of 2 equals negative 2 squared plus 4 times 2 plus 5. So we get negative 4 plus 8 plus 5. That's, I believe it's 9. So 2 comma 9 is the vertex. So we have to graph this. Let me see if I can manage this. 5, 0, negative 1, 0, 0, 5. Okay. So we have to go all the way down, actually all the way up to positive 9. So let me do it like here. So we have negative 1 here, 0 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe up to 5 here. That's our x axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'll go up to. That's the y values. We also can go to negative 1 if you want. So, but anyway, so first 5, 0 is here. That's our 5, 0. And then negative 1, 0 is this one here. So that's negative 1, 0. Also, the y-intercept is 0, 5. So somewhere here, I'll also mention that 0, 5. Axis of symmetry is x equals 2. So I'll put that as a dotted line here. Then 2 comma 9, somewhere here is the vertex 2 comma 9. So now it's negative 1 is the A, so it's a opening down kind of a graph. So the graph should look something like that. That's a graph of f of x, which is equal to negative x squared plus 4x plus 5. That's 38. Okay, so let's look at 39. Let me erase the board. So 39. All right, so okay, looks good. All right, so for 39, we have a car that's depreciating with the equation v equals 35,000, 3.21 to the power of negative 0.05x. X is the age of the car. V is the value of the car in dollars. Find the value of the car in 5.5 years. So we know X is equal to 5.5, which is same as 5.5 years. Let's find the value. So V of X, which is V of 5.5, it's equal to 35,000 times 3.21 to the power of negative 0.05 times, I put like a multiplication sign, 5.5. So we have to use our calculator to find this. I think I had my calculator here somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. All right, so let me put that in here. Yeah, so we get 35,000 times, so parentheses, 3 point, so let's say multiplication more times 3.21 to the power of, we need like a parentheses, negative, they don't have a negative sign here. I have a minus sign. I think the minus sign should work, but let's see. 0.05 times 5.5. If I hit enter, I get my answer. So I think they want us to round for the nearest, the value in dollars. So find it in terms of dollars. So it should be $25,396.81. But if this is the nearest dollar, it's $25,397. Let me just double check the answer here for 39. 39. The answer is $25,396.81. So they did for nearest cent. Did they ask you to the nearest cent, or we have to assume that? Car is depreciation. Okay, so V is the value of the car in dollars. Find the value of the car. So we usually round for dollars and cents, even though they ask for the nearest in terms of dollars. We usually put that for dollars and cents. So that's probably why they did it for dollars. Okay. All right. So, and cents. So second decimal place. Okay. So that's the answer for 39. Let's look at 40. All right. Let me erase the board. So for 40, we have this equation, log base 4 of x plus log base 4 of x minus 6 equals to 2. We know sum of two logs is multiplication of one log, so it's x times x minus 6 equals to 2. Now we could write this as exponential form, so 4 to the power of 2 equals this expression. So it's x times x minus 6 equals 4 to the second power. We know 4 to the second power is 16. Distribute the x, so we get x squared minus 6x is equals 16. Subtract 16 on both sides to get x squared minus 6x minus 16 equals 0. Now we need to find two numbers that multiply to negative 16 and add to negative 6. That is x minus 8 and x plus 2. Let me verify this. Negative 8 times 2 is negative 16. Negative 8 plus 2 is negative 6. Now solve x minus 8 equals 0 or x plus 2 equals 0. So x equals 8 or x equals negative 2 are the two answers. Again, log equations you must check. So let's do the check for each. Let's check for x equals 8. I think that should work. The other one might not. Actually, it does not. Let me check. So we have log base 4 of 8 plus log base 4 of 8 minus 6. We want to check if it's 2. All right. So log base 4 of 8 plus log base 4 of 2. We want to check if it's 2. Now, 2 and 8 are positive, so that's fine. Now we can do a multiplication. Log base 4 of 8 times 2. We want to check if it's 2. So log base 4 of 8 times 2 is 16. Is that really 2? Yeah, we know that log base 4 of 16 is 4 squared. And log base 4 of 2 is 2. So then it is equal to 2. The first check is good. For the second check, log base 4 of negative 2. Inside can't be a negative 4 log. So this has to be rejected. Reject this. If you try to put in log base 4 of negative 2, you'll see it's a domain error or an error. So the answer is just 8. Okay, just 8. Let me check for 40. Is the answer just 8? For the 40, the answer is just 8. That's correct. Okay. All right, so let me erase the board here and then do the next question. All right, so next question is question number 41. So 41, we have A equals P times 1 plus R over N to the power of N times T, where the money has to be doubled. So what you're investing is 15,000. Double of 15,000 is 30,000. You want to make 15,000 to 30,000. Remember, it's times 2. It's doubled, times it by 2. 1 plus R is how much? R is 4.5%. R is 4.5%, 4.5%. That's 0.045. So 0.045 over over the n, it says compounded semi-annually. So semi-annually is n is 2. So 2 to the power of n, which is 2 times t, 2t. Now we want to solve for t here. So first divide by 15,000 on both sides. So 15,000 cancels out. 30,000 divided by 15,000 is the 2 that doubling. And then you could simplify this 1.0275, I believe. Is that 2? No, 2. That's incorrect. So let me just erase that. It's 2.0225. Okay, to the power of 2t. Now you could take log both sides or write this as an exponent logarithmic function. I'm going to take ln both sides or log both sides. Let me write that. Take log both sides. So we have log 2 equals log is base 10, 1.0225 to the power of 2t. Now you know 2t can be brought forward. So we have log 2 equals 2t log 1.02, that's a 225. Now to solve for t, you could divide by 2 as well as log 1.0225. So same thing on the other side, divided by 2 log 1.0225. Remember, we have two things, so let's put a bracket or something like that. So then t basically equal to, let me write this one more time, log 2 divided by 2 log 1.0225. Let's put this into our calculator and see whether we can get an answer. So let's see. So we have, let me come back here and type log. So log 2 divided by a parentheses 2 log 2 times log 1.0225. So it's approximately to the nearest 100th second decimal place, 15.58 years. Okay, so 15.58 years. All right, so let me just confirm the answer for 41. 15.58 is correct. Okay, let's look at the next question. So, 42. I think I'm using the Let me actually erase that. Can I erase it? Okay. Yeah, let me use the other. So now 42. 42. 42 we have to subtract and simplify. Okay, so we have 4x minus 4 divided by x squared plus 2x minus 15. Subtract 3 divided by x plus 5. Now, first we can factor two things that multiplies -15 and add to 2. So it's going to be x plus 5 times x minus 3. Let me check. 5 times -3 is -15. 5 plus -3 is 2. That's correct. Now, so the LCD is x plus 5 times x minus 3. So multiply this expression by x minus 3, numerator and the denominator. So now the LCD, it doesn't go away because not an equation. So you can't multiply by LCD on both sides. So the LCD comes down or keep with the expression. So it's x plus 5 times x minus 3. On the numerator, we have 4x minus 4. And then you could distribute the -3 into this. You get -3x plus 9. Now combine the like terms. 4x minus 3x is x. -9 plus 9, -4 plus 9 is +5. Let me check that. It's x plus a 5. Also, we have x plus 5 on the denominator times x minus 3. X plus 5 as a whole cancel with x plus 5. So the final answer reduced to 1 over x minus 3. Can you confirm 42? The answer is 1 over x minus 3. 1 over x minus 3 is correct. Okay, let's look at the next question. Let me delete this. Question number 43. So we want to divide and simplify. So we have x squared minus x minus 12 divided by 2x plus 8 divide by 2x squared plus 5x minus 3 divided by 8x minus 4. Now let's find two numbers and multiply to -12, add to -1. That's going to be x minus 4 times x plus 3. Again, -4 times +3 is -12. -4 plus 3 is -1 divided by GCF for the denominator is 2. So it's 2 times x plus 4. Change the division to a multiplication and flip this. So 8 and -4 also has a 4 in common. It's going to be 2x minus 1 divided by here. You got to do the AC method. You could also do guess and check. 2 times -3, A times C, which is 2 times -3, which is -6. And we need to add to +5. So now multiply into -6 and into 5, it has to be +6 and -1 because 6 minus 1 is 5. So both are correct. So we have 2x squared plus 6x minus x minus 3. 5x broke into 6x minus x. So for the first two terms, GCF is 2x, x plus 3. For the next two terms is -1, x plus 3. So the factoring is x plus 3 times 2x minus 1. You could verify it. X times 2x is 2x squared. X times -1 is -x. 3 times 2x is +6x. 3 times -1 is -3, so it checks out. So the factoring is, let me write that, x plus 3 times 2x minus 1. Now let's simplify. 2x minus 1, 2x minus 1, that simplifies. X plus 3 cancels with x plus 3, that simplifies. 2 cancels with, that was a positive 8, right? Yeah, 2 cancels with 4, that's a 2 here. So the final answer on the numerator, we have a 2 times an x minus 4 and an x plus 4 in the denominator, and that's the final answer. Let me check 43. Why do I feel like it might be wrong? Okay, so 2 times x minus 4 divided by x plus 4. That's correct, actually. All right, so let's look at the next question. Okay, so the next question is 44. Last few questions. The revenue of a company is given by the equation. So the revenue is given by x times 1000 minus 4x is the revenue. But the revenue of the company is in dollars when they sell x units of product. How many units of product should be sold to make 60,000 revenue? So we need the revenue to be 60,000. So we want to find what x is. And the revenue is 6,000. So let's distribute the x. So we get 6,000, no, actually 60,000, I'm sorry, 60,000 revenue equals 1,000x minus 4x squared. We would like to have x squared positive, so let's move everything to the right side. So I'm going to add 4x squared on both sides. I'm going to also subtract 1,000x. So what do we get? This cancels, this cancels. So we get 4x squared minus 1,000x plus 60,000 equals 0. Now, I think there's a factor of 4, so I'm going to divide each one by 4, or you could factor the 4 out. So you're going to get x squared minus 250x plus 15,000 equals 0. Now we need to find two numbers that multiplies to 1,500 and add to 250. Because of the positive and the negative, both has to be negatives here. So x and x. If both are negatives, it's going to combine them, add up. So I believe it's 150 times, let me see. It's going to be 150 times 100. That seems to be correct. Let me check. 150 times 100 is, we have 3 zeros, so it's 150. 15,000. 150 minus negative 150 minus 100 is negative 250. That's correct. So either x minus 150 is 0 or x minus 100 is 0. Did I do it right? I think one of them has to reject. So let me just make sure. When we bring that to the other side, 4x squared minus 1000x plus 6,000. That seems to be right. So 4x squared minus 1,000x plus, okay. It seems to be right. So, but x is 150 or x is 100 is the two answers. Either we produce 100 units or 150 units. We should get the same 60,000 profit. Let's read the question. How many units of production should they sell to make a revenue of 60,000? We could substitute and check. Let me see the answer also for 44. 44, 100 units or 150. So both our answers are correct. Interesting, right? So they have to produce either 150 or 100 units. So both checks out actually, okay? So if you substitute, you'll see both will give you 60,000 revenue. So if I were the company holder, I would only produce 100, so the lower number of production would be better, but the revenue is the income. So anyway, let me erase this. So revenue is the income minus the expenditure. What comes in minus the cost. So, but both of them give you a revenue of 60,000. Anyway, let me erase this. Let's look at the next question, 45. Okay, so 45, one before the last question. So the value of V is measured in dollars is given by V equals 40,000, 1.23 to the power of negative 0.4x, where x is the age of the car in years. Find the value of the car to the nearest hundredth of an year when the value of the car is 20,000. So we want a car to be 20,000 equals 40,000 is the original value of the car. 1.23 to the power of negative 0.4x. So to solve for x, we would first divide by 40,000. So 40,000 cancels out. Now 20,000 divided by 40,000 is a half. So we want to check what the half, how long does it take to reduce the price of the car for a half price? 1.23 to the power of negative 0.4x. Now you could take ln both sides, log both sides. Because I took log both sides earlier, I'm going to take ln both sides. So ln of half is 0.5. I'm going to say 0.5. It's easier for us to write. Equals to ln of 1.23 to the power of negative 0.4x. Now 0.4x, I'm sorry. Now we could bring this forward like last time. So we have ln 0.5 equals negative 0.4x times ln 1.23. Now we could divide both sides negative 0.4 times ln 1.23 on both sides, negative 0.4 times ln 1.23. So negative 0.4, negative 4.4 cancel, and ln 1.23, ln 1.23 cancel. We get the x value. Let me use our Desmos calculator and see what the answer is. So we have, let me see, ln 0.5 divided by negative 0.4 ln 1.23. If your calculator is not properly writing like that, maybe you want to put a parenthesis for the denominator. My one looks okay, so I'm going to use it to the nearest hundredth, second decimal place. So it takes how many years? Let me write that. 8.37 years to reduce the price of the car for half price. All right. Hope that's okay. All right, so the last question, let me move this up and do the last question here. All right, so the last question, I'm going to erase the board. Let me check the answer. 8.37. 8.37 is correct. Okay, the last question. All right, so the last question, 46. We have this function, which is f of x, which is equal to 70x to the power of 3/4, right? Model the number of calories per day a person needs to maintain life in terms of the person's weight. So x is the weight. X is the weight, okay? In kilograms. X is the person weight. F of x is the calories needed. So function value is the calories needed. Part A. If the person weight is, so x is 80, how many calories do we need, right? So we're going to do f of 80 equals 70 times 80 to the power of 3/4. So we know 3/4 means, if you remember, b to the power of m over n, b to the power of m over n is the same as nth root of b to the power of m, like that, right? So this is equal to 70 times fourth root of 80 to the third power. I guess we can't find the fourth root of 80, so we're going to use the calculator instead. So let's use our calculator, Desmos calculator again. Let me just delete some of these answers so we have some, so you can see it. So what we're going to do is we're going to type in 70 times, I'll put parentheses. Now fourth root of, can I have a fourth root here? I guess the fourth root has to be in the functions. Let me see if I can find the fourth root. Okay. I gotta go down like this. Fourth root, come on, fourth root, nth root. Okay, nth root of. So the index is 4, and what's inside is 80. And let's come out and close the parentheses and also raise to the power of 3. So the answer is approximately 1,872 calories to the nearest what? Round to the nearest calorie. So 82 calories. If the weight is 80 kilograms, that person has to consume 1,872 calories. Okay. All right. So let me go back to the question. So if that person is weight 80 kilograms, that person needs to maintain the life. The person needs around 1,872 calories. All right. So for the next one, part B, Maybe you can also check for 80, so around 50, 60, 70, 80, somewhere here. It's 1,800 something. This graph only gives you an approximate, so we have to use the function to find the exact value or approximate value to the nearest whatever they want us to do it for. For part B, make a point in the graph where conveys the information on part. So yeah, so when it's 80, so it's around here, this one. So when it's 80, it's somewhere around there. So this is 80 comma 1872. Last part for part C. So this is basically the graph. For part C, find what weight should the person be if who needs 1,500 calories. So f of x is the calories. So 1,500 equals 70 times x to the power of 3/4. We want to find what x is. Okay. So if we could first divide by 70. So 70 cancels out. So 0 cancels out also. We have 150 divided by 7 equals x to the power of 3/4. Now, if you want to get rid of the power 3/4, we could do the opposite. We could multiply by 4 and divide by 3 on both sides. So to the power of 4/3. So 3 cancels out, 4 cancels out. We get the x. X is equal to, let me write it this side, 150 divided by 7 to the power of 4/3. You could actually do this in the Desmos calculator. Let's see what we get. So we get, let me see, I'm going to put a parentheses, then I'm going to put 150 divided by 7, close the parentheses. Let me just do it again. I need to come out first and then close the parentheses to the power of, I'm going to put another parentheses, 4 divided by 3. That seems to be correct. And the answer is approximately to the nearest 50, let's see, to the nearest, answer to the nearest kilogram. So 60 kilogram. So we need, that person will be 60 kg approximately. Okay, I hope you stayed there until the end. Hope this is helpful. I know it's a little late, better late than never, right? So hopefully it's useful for you. All right, all the best for tomorrow's exam, by the way. Right? Take care now.